Welcome back, Hawk sports fans. Let's talk sports. It wants to be one of the most exciting seasons in Red Oak basketball history, with our girls missing the playoffs by only one game, and our awesome boys team made the playoffs for the first time, what many have said, more than 30 years. While nobody can pinpoint the last time the boys made it, Red Oak High School students of today know the 2003 team will go down in history as the first Red Oak boys basketball team to win a playoff game with the exciting 44-43 victory over the rivals from the West, the Midlothian Panthers. We start our sports this month with the Hawks basketball team's great rise to the playoffs. The Hawks finished off district play with a 5-5 record and took the third playoff spot away from the NS Lions by beating them 52-46 at home before going on to take down Bank on the road and closing out the regular season with a big home victory over the Corsicana Tigers. The Hawks entered the game with the Tigers in a must-win situation. They said that big players make big plays in big games. Nothing could have been more true with the efforts of senior Guy Fernandez, who led the Hawks over the Tigers by scoring 21 big points. Senior Dominic Pryor, who in an earlier edition of Hawkeye News this year said he felt the Hawks would be in the playoffs this year, made his prediction come true by pounding the boards all night and coming up with a strong defensive and rebounding effort. Casey Fitzgerald added 12 points in the game as well. The Tigers would not go away, but the Hawks, behind a wild and supportive home crowd, took the victory by the final score of 50-47 and locked up the playoff berth. After the net was cut down, the focus came quickly on their next opponents, longtime rivals Midlothian Panthers. The Hawks soared into the playoffs against the co-district champions of 15-4A, and were immediately labeled the underdogs. The Panthers entered the contest with a strong 18-13 record on the season. The first period would go to the Panthers, who outscored what appeared to be a slightly nervous Hawks team 11-7. The Hawks would continue to hustle up and down the floor, paced by the outstanding hustle of Donald Haney. The Hawks would play the second period even with the Panthers and would trail 22-18 at the half. Hawks seemed to come out of the half with even more determination behind the slashing and scoring of Casey Fitzgerald, who finished with 18 points. The Hawks took over the lead at the end of the third period by the score of 31-30. The fans from Red Oak seemed to come alive as the action intensified. Senior Guy Fernandez hit crucial shots down the stretch and made the most of his 12 points in the game. Dominic Pryor played tough defense against the bigger Panthers inside game and helped control the Panthers' all-district players Will Hensley and Connor Kirkendall with only 13 and 12 points respectively. The hustle of Donald Haney seemed to pump new life into the Hawks as he made several outstanding saves and skying above the bigger Panthers for some huge rebounds. The game would come down to the final seconds as the Hawks would launch the ball down the court as time ran out. The history-making victory celebration was on, and the Hawks were headed to the next round with a 44-43 victory. Coach Foster and Coach Bowen could be seen with smiles as big as Texas on their faces. The hard work and dedication of the coaches and players had just paid off with the school's first playoff victory in boys basketball history. The Hawks would seem to get the short end of the draw in the second round of the playoffs. They had to travel over 2 hours to Jacksonville to take on the champions of District 14-4A, the Nacogdoches Dragons. The Dragons entered play with the 19-11 record and were once again listed as big favorites over our Hawks. The game would be filled with ups and downs, and the Hawks would trail after one period, but came to life in the second period, outscoring the Dragons 21-10 in the period and leading at the half 28-21. The third and fourth periods would belong to the Dragons, and despite the strong shooting of senior Josh Cook, who finished with 15 points, along with Guy Fernandez and Casey Fitzgerald, who both finished with 13 points each, the Hawks would fall the Dragons by the final score of 58-54. Senior Dominic Pryor added 11 points in his final game as a Hawk, and although the team felt the pain of being out of the playoffs, all who watched the Hawks this year can only say thank you to the coaches and players for the most exciting basketball season in school history. The girls also made the season very interesting after coming off a slow start. The Lady Hawks behind Coach Deb Harner finished just one win shy of a playoff spot themselves.